No. Hey. Only in an instructional video does something happen that's helpful for you guys all to see. So I don't have any dogs in this car that would run off if they got out of the vehicle or if I dropped a leash. However, I did not pay attention to the fact that Hank was down in this corner pocket, pretty much ready to rock. He often goes right there. This wasn't like new information. But when I'm opening the door and beginning to bring the dogs out, I already have to heighten my awareness of what's going on. There's a level of presence that I'm giving to this pack before I bring them out of the car. And then there's a level that I'm attuned to the environment so I can make sure it's safe to do this process. Anytime a distraction or anything is coming by, I'm stopping the unloading process, taking a moment. I don't need to compete against other energies. I'm also reading what's going on. So like if a person is going to walk by while we're doing this and they're ignoring me and we're sharing no energy and my dogs aren't interested, then I'm probably going to keep moving. If I see that certain things are bringing the energy of the pack up, then I just take my time. When I don't rush, that is where space for magic is created. We're constantly wanting to do things quick, 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 fast, 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 get on the walk, move, do all the things. And there's so much value in taking a ton of time just getting ready before you walk. For me, because my walk starts from this vehicle, this is the place where I'm actually taking the most time, not at the client's homes. The client's homes, it's a place where you can practice structure, but you need to understand that there's a certain level of association that's attached to the owners that has nothing to do with you. So there is a level of like fighting against an uphill battle when you're at the house, trying to create a level of sensitivity when they already have so many other influences and narratives playing into that. If my walk was starting right from the home and I only had one dog, then I might really be able to take some time and slow down there. However, because my service is a mobile service, these dogs are all getting in a car together. There's not a lot of rigidity that I ask when I pick up the dog from their house and bring them to my car. All of the work starts right here. So you might think, oh, that dog that hopped out, should we get him out last now? No. Common mistake that people do is try to make their dogs earn going faster and getting what they want by being calm. And sometimes that energy can be actually quite counterproductive. When I'm looking at my pack, I want to pull out the dogs that need the most of my presence first, not the least. When I'm pulling out each dog one at a time, if I'm pulling out the dog that needs the most, then while I'm establishing our leash protocol for the day, they're getting the most of my energy. That way, by the time I get to the last dog that I'm pulling out of my car, they're going to be the most sensitive dog. So they might have been the calmest, but because they required less of me emotionally, I'm going to work the dogs that need more of my attention first. Made a little mess of my leashes here, so I'm just going to take a moment to clean that up. Every step of my process, I choose to intentionally not rush. Even just with something like this, taking a video for you guys, it's important for you guys to understand I don't allow other influences, expectations, projections to influence how I move with the pack. Part of that is established because of the way that I lead myself in my own life outside of these dogs. Allowing myself permission to do it my way, staying committed to my goals, being committed to my passions. Like, this is a very similar energy to what I'm doing with these animals. I can't wait for people to give me the permission to do it this way. If I was waiting, I would have never started pack walks almost 20 years ago, challenging myself to create a pack that walked nice on the leash together because everyone told me that that couldn't be done. Well, honey, we changed some things in the last 20 years. All right, all sass aside. When I'm bringing dogs out of my car, again, looking for the highest energy dogs first so I can give them attention, I'm actually going to call that dog out that just got out first. Hank. When I'm establishing leash protocols before we begin our walk, I'm always looking at the amount of pressure on the leash. So he's welcome to go move around, explore. She just sat because she felt like it, not because I asked her to. And she was actually, we were parked in front of her house, so that's why she's out of the car first. No, felt a little bit of pressure on my back, didn't like it. The dog's expectation is to not have pressure on the leash. So he's welcome to explore, pee, poo, sniff, greet, do all the things. until he hits the end of that leash, and then he needs to yield to me. And if he doesn't, then I will hold him accountable to do so. And I will do that with every single dog that comes out of this car before we've even started the walk, before we've done any of that stuff. It's really important to take the time to establish, what does the leash mean? The leash means you go where the leash goes. This is a source of information. I want the tension on the leash to mean something. So I have to be intentional about every moment that pressure's coming on that leash. Isn't it funny how this dog, the one that had the most energy, the one that jumped out first, gets out, gets acknowledged, and boom, he lays down and relaxes. That's exactly what I'm talking about when we talk about acknowledging the dog for who they are and what they need in the moment. He didn't need to get punished because he jumped out and made a mistake. Had I been paying attention, he wouldn't have done that. I would have created some more space and we would have gone along just fine. It wasn't his fault that I wasn't paying attention right in that moment. I don't have to make him make up for that. We're already back and dropped in and tuned in together. Let's see. This is Sadie coming out, getting a greet. Sadie's probably my most forward-moving dog of the entire pack. Very excitable, very curious. She got some prey drivey type stuff. Mia, I was actually calling her to me, not correcting her. I felt a little pressure on her leash. So even as they're greeting, I'm still being mindful about the pressure on each of these individual leashes. I'm paying attention. If I need to stop, then I stop. Hey, so Sadie right there, see how this line got a little long? It doesn't take much. I can interrupt her from moving forward, like disagree with her. I can call her over, give her some guidance. There's many different ways to address the same thing. Either she has to yield to me or I have to yield to her. But either way, I don't want pressure on the leash right now. Hey, come here. Because like, see how the energy is like splaying over there? I don't want that. For this next dog, I will say, this is my personal dog. He's going deaf and blind. My expectations for him are actually a bit different. He needs more reminders than the other dogs. He's just kind of old and does his own thing at this point. If I thought he was going to be a problem for the flow of my pack or was negatively impacting my other dog's behavior, then I wouldn't bring him. Too many people are trying to fit their dog that doesn't fit well into their packs, into their services, or into their training sessions. Sometimes just not the right fit. Bernard used to not be the right fit for many, many years. He is now. So now he can come out with me, and it's a joy to have him. Hey, you see how there's like a lot of pacing? No. And I actually didn't notice that as much until her energy came out. So like, she makes the dogs feel a certain way just to notice. I don't have to like make it bad or wrong. Hey, but you notice how this dog's energy changed quite a bit when she came out and started encouraging all this exploration. Then he was like, oh, cool. Is that what we're doing now? And she is an older female in the pack, so it makes sense that he would be getting some information from her. I'll tell you right now, the rest of the dogs in the car, they're all pretty soft, pretty even keeled as far as energy goes. So I'm not particularly pulling them out in any order at this point. Again, just watching how each of the dogs feels. Things come out. We got a delivery truck across the way, so the dogs are perked up listening to that. Getting a little greeting here. A little alertness. Coming back around. Hank's doing a greet. And you'll notice all of my dogs beat on leash every single day, every single time. There's nothing about on leash greetings that create reactivity. It's about you not understanding dog behavior, you not understanding when to take space, you not understanding who your dog is compatible with, you trying to force parts to make them fit when they don't. I don't do that. So he's going peace, so there is a little bit of tension, but I'm holding it because I don't want him to go any further that direction, and he comes back over. Cool. Next, I'm going to get Larry. Larry's coming out. Very sensitive guy. And it's funny because, you know, the dynamic of my pack will really change depending on who's in it. My dog, Bernard, he's got a very strong energy, this dog in the jacket. And other dogs will be more submissive when he's around. For example, Larry is very excitable and he will hump other dogs unless Bernard's here. Then he won't do that at all. And it's not like a dominance thing, it's a playfulness thing, but Bernard brings an energy of we ain't fucking around. And I like that about him. It's actually a good dynamic, a good helpful dynamic for my working pack. Right here, a little tension. Hey. I could tell he's not finished with it there. So I'm just like maintaining pressure, which is sometimes with the leash, sometimes with my visual eye contact. I'm not convinced. There we go. Then I feel like he's a little more attentive. So I has a little tail wag. He's like, oh yeah, she was looking for me there. So we had a moment of connection. You can pendulate from disconnection to connection, disconnection to connection. It's you getting frustrated and annoyed about it that causes disconnection to expand more. Sadie, there's nothing wrong with the fact that she's doing that, but that energy is a little playful and more excited than what's going on here. So it's a little bit of like read the room moment. I'm just saying that's not actually the vibe that we're sharing right now. No. Again, taking my time here, just watching the dogs, just observing. We're so quick to want to change everything all the time. There's a lot of power in just observing where your dog is at for the day and what they're feeling before you even go and do anything. We got May coming out. She's Dakota's sister. Now that she comes out, see this guy? He's like taking the opportunity of where I wouldn't let him go before. His leash is softer, so I'm cool with him approaching it from that place. He also looks like he might pee or poo. No, it's just a good smell. Okay, that's enough. So I gave him a little access, and then I was like, we're done there. I get to decide when things start and stop. Again, there's nothing wrong that he wants to roll in a little smell. Hey! But it's creating distraction in my pack right now, and that's not what we're doing. So it's more so just like me holding that accountable of totally get that stinky thing. It's real exciting. By all means, check it out. Do so with soft energy, and then come back to me. Hey! That's how she just... She's like, see ya later, losers. That's very a Coco move. She's just very connected to the environment. So I'm really being mindful about when she gets out, I know she's going to go explore. Hey, see this right here? I don't like that. I don't want her clotheslining a dog to go explore. So it's like I'm creating a boundary around how my dogs experience things. I'm like, I want you to sniff. I want you to check things out. I want you to greet each other. I get that there's times you're going to be motivated by the environment. However, I want you to be able to maintain a level of sensitivity to me. I want to be able to bring you back without it being a huge deal. That way I can give you the freedom to explore. All that being said, I'm not going to let you go to a 10 and then think you're going to get back down to a 3 or a 4 on my walk, like energy-wise. I have to moderate and be thoughtful about how much it takes to bring energy down and to push it back up. All right, last dog here. I got some cyclists coming by. I can hear my dogs are all watching, so I just wait. See how they feel. Morning. Just because like a lot of times the conversation makes them feel a certain way. Not that I'm anticipating that any of these dogs are going to have any specific response, but I'm open to it if they do, because I'm giving them my presence before I bring out this next dog. Like I'm taking moments throughout to consider the dog's experience every step of the way. This big, gentle giant, he is the sweetest. He's got a big old butt, and I love him for it. He's definitely one of the most sensitive dogs in my pack. Can be very wary, can have a very strong energy when he wants. He can also be very playful, very fun. But he has a more sensitive energy. But notice like how much my dogs offer, and we haven't even done anything yet. Quit being tricked into thinking you got to be so firm and structured and the dog's got to be seated and compliant and obedient. And like, look at what these dogs offer. We haven't even walked yet. We haven't done anything. They've come straight from their homes and we just do this. Me setting the intention, taking my time with this process, letting things play out makes for a fucking awesome walk. It just does. It makes for what real flow looks and feels like. Flow isn't just flow is like so stop thinking that's got to be so penetrated, so structured, rigid. There's different ways that we can find our flow, and it's not going to be by being perfect all the time and hoping things never go wrong and never allowing ourselves the grace to make a mistake and make it right and learn and do better. But that is the end of this unloading video. Hey. There he is. There, my sweet boy. Because there's a level of, if I'm addressing you, I always want to make sure that you're back with me. I'm looking for a level of acknowledgement. So if you sit and you look somewhere else, you're not with me. You just went through the motions. It's really important, again, taking moments every step of the way to establish what it is that I want, being consistent. This is really emotionally, mentally, and physically draining for these dogs. They're already relaxed. And then we're going to go walk. Imagine how that's going to be. All right, y'all. Nope. May. Back.